चारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Jambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah.
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्वी नावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good evening. Please see page number 50. The second quote in the page. A very important quote of Swami Vivekananda. What our country now wants are muscles of iron and nerves of steel, gigantic wills which nothing can resist, which can penetrate into the mysteries and the secrets of the universe and will accomplish their purpose in any fashion, even if it meant going down to the bottom of the ocean and meeting death face to face. So, the last decade of the 19th century, when Vivekananda traveled across the length and breadth of this country, he saw everywhere inertia, tamas, ignorance, lack of enthusiasm, lack of energy among people. And to motivate them, to encourage them, to make them work for the country, Swamiji uttered these words. He couldn't see much of life in the race as such. That was, in fact, because of prolonged slavery. We were under British rule. Before that, we were under around 600 years under different kinds of political subjugation. So, probably because of that subjugation for nearly 900 years, political subjugation, the race actually had lost its vigor, strength. And that's why Swamiji wanted to rouse the country from the slumber. ఆ నిద్ర నుంచి జాతిని మేల్కొల్పాలని స్వామీజీ చాలా విశ్వప్రయత్నం చేశారు వివేకానంద. So kind of lion roar, it was some kind of simha garjana. He said, what our country now wants are muscles of iron and nerves of steel and gigantic wheels. And somebody who can sacrifice his or her life for the sake of motherland, that kind of individual Swamiji wanted. Okay, in that context, he made this statement. The strength, he would again and again stress. Strength is life, weakness is death. What we want is strength, physical strength, intellectual strength, and spiritual strength. Only a weak man suffers, a weak human being suffers. Somebody who is strong physically, intellectually, and spiritually, they will not suffer. Nature is designed in such a way that it inflicts pain on only weak people. The strong, who is clear headed, who is spiritually strong, they will not suffer. That's why Swamiji would advocate people to develop the strength, physical, intellectual, and spiritual. So here he's saying that a few brave souls must come forward to sacrifice themselves for the sake of motherland, for the sake of India. Then only it can be rejuvenated. I give me 100 youths actually who are sincere to the backbone and who are ready to sacrifice their lives for the sake of the nation. I shall revolutionize, I shall shake the world, Vivekananda would say. ఒక 100 మంది సింహాలు లాంటి మెరికల్ లాంటి యువతను నాకు ఇవ్వండి, నేను ప్రపంచాన్ని గడగడలాడిస్తా అంటాడు ఆయన. You would eagerly look for such people. Yes, in present context, how are we to understand this quote? Yes, he's talking about strength. We always need strength. It's easy to develop muscles of iron, but nerves of steel. More than the muscle, nerve is important. Today you go to gym and do exercise, and then you are like, what called 6 packs and 7 pack? They say no. You have the physical strength, but even people with that kind of 6 pack, 7 pack also sometimes committing suicides. That means what? Mental strength, nervous strength is not there. So it's not the physical strength alone that counts. You need to have intellectual strength. Okay, nerves will be strong. You know, see, there is not real strength in the muscle. Stronger than the muscle is the nerve. You know, have you seen a paralysis patient? Paralysis patient. The muscle is intact, limbs are intact, everything is fine. Only thing is that nerve got disconnected, nerve is damaged. Okay, though the muscle is intact, because the nerve got damaged, he cannot use the limbs. Similarly, now all this apparatus is fine, but the optical nerve, it's like a hair follicle, very subtle, very thin. If our optical nerve gets broken or something happens to that, so you can't see. But your eyes just looks like normal, but you lost vision. So the subtle is more important. Behind the nerve is thought, still subtler. ఇంకా సూక్ష్మమైనటువంటిది. And behind thought actually is the spirit, consciousness, the subtlest aspect of our personality. In that lies the true power. That's why you see all these great rishis like Vivekananda sitting in meditation. For what? He wanted to transcend thought. He wanted to go beyond mind and want to touch that spirit. Once you touch the spirit, you become infinite. You become all powerful. You'll move the world. This way, to gain strength and to gain power in India, our forefathers, they always used to meditate. They always used to do tapas, penance. తపస్సు అంటే ఏంటంటే చాలా రకాల తపస్సు ఉంది. ట్రూత్ఫుల్నెస్, సత్యవచనం ఒక తపస్సు, ధ్యానం తపస్సు, భగవంతుని నామజపం తపస్సు అవుతుంది, పరోపకారం తపస్సు అవుతుంది. సో దిస్ ఆర్ ప్రేయర్ తపస్సు అవుతుంది. సో యు ఆర్ టేకింగ్ ది హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ ద సుప్రీం. సో బై ప్రాక్టీసింగ్ తపస్సు దే వుడ్ హెల్ప్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్, దే వుడ్ మేక్ దెమ్ స్ట్రాంగ్ త్రూ తపస్. మనం ఈరోజు ఈ పదమే మర్చిపోయాం. భారతదేశం అంటే తపోభూమి. టుడే టోటలీ ఫర్గాటెన్ దట్ తపోభూమి. So tapas actually brings us real strength. We'll have control over mind, control over your indriyas, control your senses. The greater the control you acquire over the mind and the senses, the greater the strength that you would be able to exhibit. Whereas in the West, you see, everybody would look like this, Pahalwan, in terms of physical strength, but inner strength is not there. That's why in most of the developed countries, the addictions, alcoholic addiction, drug addiction, this abuse, that abuse. That means what? Physically, they look very strong outwardly, but the inner strength is not there, mental strength is not there. So they succumb to all these kinds of, addictions. And the nations, you just see sinking, in my opinion, in many societies. For example, a most affluent nation like America, they spend nearly $4 trillion on their health, and the substance abuse, drug abuse, and all kinds of addictions. So the vast mass of population got addicted to so many things. And the society is in a deep mess in that way, because this tapo shakti is not there. They don't have control over indriyas. They don't even make an attempt also. They think actually the goal of life is to enjoy as much as we can. Sensory indulgence actually has become the sole objective of a civilization, a nation. But we know that kind of slavery is no good. అది కూడా ఒక బానిసత్వమే. ఇంద్రియాలకు బానిసలు అయ్యామంటే మనం స్వేచ్ఛను కోల్పోయాం. So we don't have control over our mind. Whichever way mind drags, we go there. Mind should be our out control. To gain that kind of control over mind, you need to do tapas. That we have known it here in this culture, and we have been practicing it. Generations together we have practiced it. But today we have totally forgotten it. That's why we need people like Vivekananda, sages, the saints. They come in our midst and they ask us. Money is not important. Money will lead to indulgence. We just see the people who have a lot of money, what they are doing, how they are enjoying life, what is their idea of enjoyment. Eat, drink, and dance. That's all. Whole night, drink, dance, dresses. Is that a real life? You have become total slave of indriyas, senses. That doesn't give you real strength. It seems, it proves that you're too weak. So to gain that kind of mastery over the senses and the mind, actually, has been the goal here, and that comes only through tapas. So we have to bring in some kind of tapas into our lives. ప్రతి ఓల్డ్ కూడా కొద్దిగా తపస్సు చేయడానికి ఉపక్రమించాలి. నాకు టైం లేదు, నాకు కుదరదంటే then you are saying that I want to become a slave of my mind. Mind is such an entity that actually it wants to boss over you and it wants to make you a slave of it. Once you become totally a slave of mind, nobody can help you in the world. So what is important? Tapas. Muscles of iron, okay. Muscles of iron, nerves of steel and gigantic wills. Sankalpa balam etla undalante, Vivekananda used to say, I can crush the mountains to pieces. I shall drink the ocean. Cheppagalagali. Somebody who has a real willpower, what he will say? I will crush the mountains to dust, to powder. I shall drink the ocean. In సముద్రాన్ని ఆపోసన పడతాను, కొండల్ని పిండి కొట్టగలుగుతాను అని అనగలుగుతాడంటే ఎవరు? The person who has that real willpower. Okay. Thank you. Nice evening.